Good morning. The Committee for Parole is called to order. Today's date is October 22nd and the time 22nd, 2025. The time is 9:10. My name is Chuck Tillis. I'll be chairing for this committee today. My colleagues are Ms. Jerry Lanou and Mr. Steve Prater by Zoom. We're located at the DOC headquarters here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Staff, would you say your name for the record, please?
Jasmine Thompson.
Jalen Cavalier.
Our remote location is at Terrebonne Work Release. And we're going to have to move for continuance for Mr. Jarrett Coates. Can I get a motion?
Make that motion.
Yeah,
A second?
I would vote to continue as well.
Thank you. So we're going to move to our next case. Good morning. My name is Chuck Tillis, and we're at Madison Parish. My name is Chuck Tillis. My colleagues are Steve Prater and Miss Jerry Lanou. Are you Mr. Brown?
No, I'm Carl Kamak, video conference officer. I have Mr. Brown here now.
Okay. Mr. Brown, would you state your name and DOC number for the record, please?
Clarence Brown, 399390.
Do you have a questionnaire with you
Yes.
in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign it? You
Yes, sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
You'd like to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Prater will be handling your case today, and he'll read some violations.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Brown. You okay?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. I just want to make sure that you could hear me. I'm going to read something to you, and I want to make sure that you understand and agree to this. And I'm going to ask you to plead guilty or not guilty to certain violations. And you can also give a statement to that if you would. You were paroled on July of 2024, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were rearrested in March of 2025, a few months later, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You were charged with violating certain conditions of your parole. And these conditions are listed. There's 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10. And we'll go over these quickly and let you tell me if you're guilty or not guilty of this. The first one, and really 2 and 3 and 6 are kind of the same, but it's kind of, we're trying to find you, and it says that you failed to report since September of 2024. Is it true or not?
Not actually, sir, because I had a situation going on and I explained it with my officer, but I don't know how he took it or whatever. It was a real life and death situation that was going on in New Orleans. And that's why I had to leave. And I explained that to him.
Did you explain to him before you left?
Yes, sir, before I left.
Okay. And you
And I
told him you
didn't,
headed to New Orleans and you check him later. Is that right?
no, sir, I went to New Orleans and I explained all that to him because I didn't have an address in New Orleans anyway, just like I didn't have none in Lafayette. So either way it was going, I was going to be homeless. So I explained to him that me being homeless in New Orleans would have cost me my life. So I wanted to, be where I was safe.
So you went to Lafayette.
Yes, sir.
Did you immediately call and tell him where you would be in Lafayette?
Yes, sir, I did.
Well, that doesn't what the report says. You didn't live where you reported you would live.
Well, like I explained to him, the address that I had on file was an address that was used for me to be released to, not to live at. And my first visit, I explained all that to him.
Okay. Did you tell him where you were living and did you live there?
Did I live at what the initial address in New Orleans?
There is one thing, and you're saying you didn't live there because you had to leave there. How long did you stay in New Orleans? And please think through your answers and talk to me right. I don't want to have to ask a bunch of questions about where you lived
Yes,
and
sir.
when you reported and all that. Tell me the truth, okay?
Yes, sir.
All
I
right.
was,
When you got out of jail, you were in New Orleans. Did you
yes,
live
sir.
where you said you would live?
Yes, sir. When I was there, yes, sir.
For how long?
For maybe like a week or two.
Okay. And then were you in touch with your parole officer during that time?
Yes, sir.
And then after a week or two, you moved to Lafayette, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you call and tell him you were going to Lafayette?
Yes, sir, I did.
Once you got in Lafayette, did you tell him where you were?
Yes, sir.
Were you there?
Yes, sir.
You were there and he visited you there
Oh, no,
and
he never visited. He never came now.
but you were at the same place the whole time.
I was homeless out there, sir. Yes, sir.
How could you be homeless and have a place where you reported that you live? That's what help me here.
Never, I never reported the address in Lafayette. I
Okay.
told, yeah, I
That's
never
what I
reported it.
asked and you said you
Oh, okay.
did.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry. I misunderstood you. I apologize.
I'll start talking slower. I don't want you to misunderstand me. So you're
Yes, sir.
saying you're not guilty of that, and in the preliminary hearing you were found guilty of that. And I've heard your statement, so we'll move on.
Yeah.
Okay, that what takes care of 2 and 3. Number 4, you were arrested for simple theft, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you pled guilty for that, right?
Yes, sir.
And wasn't one of the conditions of your parole that you wouldn't be involved in criminal activity?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you pled guilty to that and you were found guilty at your preliminary hearing also, and you pled guilty in court. Okay, you were arrested for burglary one time. Were you ever arrested for burglary or not?
No, sir. I was never arrested for burglary.
Okay. All right. Well, it was mentioned in the report, but there wasn't a disposition of that. So, but they didn't prosecute that. Um, and so I'm not going to even worry about that. You didn't have proof of employment because were you working anywhere?
No, sir.
Okay. So that satisfies that. And it says in number 10 that you owe $441. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and my final question for you is, and I don't want to go over the old charges that you've had, the reasons that you've been arrested, and all of those sorts of things throughout your history. But in reading the records, you've been on parole and probation, especially parole, a number of times, correct? How many times?
I think this is my second time, I want to say.
How many times have you violated your parole in the
This one,
past?
I want to say this might be my second time, if I'm not mistaken. I'm
You've
really
got,
not sure, sir.
do you
Uh,
have excuse me, sir, do you have a substance abuse problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought so because it's affected your memory a little bit there, I believe.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
and so you need to, are you getting any help for that?
Yes, sir.
What's the help that you're getting for that?
I take the programs on my tablet that we have in the facility.
Oh, okay. So you weren't getting something outside the facility.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. I don't have any other questions. I know enough. Thank you.
Ms. Ledoux, do you have any questions?
No, I would just reiterate that on 9/10 of 24, the subject reported, he said he was trying to get a bed in lower barrier shelter, but that he was actually staying at a shelter in Lafayette. And he requested a bus pass and he was told to return to New Orleans on Friday and he never showed up. And so it's very clear that he intentionally absconded supervision. And I'm sorry, sir, that your situation made you homeless and it sounds like things spiraled down from there with the theft, but we do have rules for a reason. So thank you.
I understand.
Is the panel ready to vote? Mr. Prater?
Yes, sir. I'm prepared to vote. And my vote is that your parole be revoked at this time and that it's my recommendation. And of course, we can't tell the Department of Corrections where to house you or what to do really, but my recommendation is that you be sent somewhere for a long-term substance abuse program because I think that you got an underlying problem that has never been addressed with substance abuse, possibly. I don't know the details and it's not for me to say, but I think that that program would benefit you greatly, something much more in depth than a tablet program. So that would be my recommendation would be because of violations of 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10, that your parole be revoked. And is my recommendation that you be housed at a facility that has a long-term substance abuse program.
Ms. Ledoux?
Yes, we cannot supervise people we cannot find. So my vote is to revoke and hope you get the help you need, Mr. Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
And I concur with my colleagues, Mr. Brown. Today, your request has been denied. This concludes our business with you.
Yellow.
Good morning. My name is Chuck Tillis. We're at a remote location at Madison Parish South. My colleagues today are Ms. Ledoux and Mr. Steve Prater. Would you state your name and DLC number for the record, please? You're on mute. You're on mute. We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Hello?
Elric Gallo, 290887.
Okay. Would the staff introduce themselves? For the
Yes.
record.
My name is Carl Kamak, Video Conference Officer.
Thank you so much. Do you have a questionnaire in front of you, Mr. Gallo?
That's it right here.
Yes, sir.
Did you sign it? You understand it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You want to continue today?
I would like to have a continuance if possible.
Why would you like to have a continuance?
Due to the fact of what's pending before the courts. I've never had the opportunity yet to have a hearing before the courts. And because of what's presented to the courts, I feel to believe that once I do have a hearing, that the charge against me will be dismissed.
Okay. Ms. Ledoux, you're handling that case.
Yes, I'm going to read into the record the allegation against you, Mr. Gallo, and I need you to enter a plea of guilty or guilty with a statement or not guilty. So we have that you were charged on with violating condition 4, 12/10/2024. You were arrested by Evangeline Parish Sheriff's Office for second-degree murder. Your charge has been billed, and a pre-trial conference has been set for March 9th, 2026. This is the only allegation we have against you since you were paroled in 2021. So you're requesting so would you enter a plea?
Not guilty.
Okay. And you are requesting a continuance to take care of this matter in court prior to the revocation?
Yes, ma'am. Because I have an upcoming court December the 15th.
Okay,
And prior to this, I've never violated my parole no kind of way. I did everything right to the law. I gave somebody a ride, is why I'm in this predicament.
okay. So based on your request for a continuance to handle the legal matter before you, my vote would be to provide the continuance.
Mr.
I
Prater?
second, I second that, continuance.
All right. Mr. Galloway, we will go ahead and give you a continuance, and this concludes our business at Madison Parish. Thank you.
We have two more, sir.
Yes. This concludes it with Mr. Galloway.
Oh, with Mr. Gallo. Okay, I thought you were saying it was over.
Thank y'all.
I'm getting Haven Nugent next. Nugent.
Morning, Mr. Nude. Good morning. You're on mute.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Chuck Tillis. My colleagues are Ms. Ledoux and Mr. Freeman. I'm sorry, Mr. Prater. Would you state your name and number, DLC number for the record, please?
Haven Nugent, number 600063.
Okay, Mr. Nugent, I'll be handling your case today.
So,
We're gonna go over some violations. And you can answer guilty, not guilty, or with a statement. Violation number 4, you were involved in criminal conduct of possession with the intent to distribute CDS 4, possession with the intent to distribute CDS 2, 2 counts, and possession of a CDS count 2. This led to your arrest by the Evangeline Parish Sheriff's Office on December 5th, 2024. The charges are currently pending in Evangeline Parish. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or with a statement?
not guilty.
Okay, let's go over it then. Tell me why you're not guilty. What's the reason why you're not guilty?
Well, they charged me with possession with intent of all kinds of CDSs and all that, sir. When actually when I was arrested out of Walmart buying a cold drink, sir. I didn't have no drugs and none of that on me. They had somebody else apparently the night before went to jail and he got in some kind of trouble. And then they just came at me when I was in Walmart buying a cold drink, sir.
You're saying, okay. Also, it says you are associated with persons involved in criminal conduct of distribution of CDS, obtaining these substance from said person. This is evident by your being in possession of multiple illegal substances at the time of your arrest. Did you have some of these drugs on you at your arrest?
No, sir.
You don't do drugs?
I have before.
Okay. Are there any questions from my colleague on this matter, on rule number 4?
Well, his ID was actually found in the car with the other person who was arrested. So by the preponderance of evidence, I think that he was associating with people who were in possession of significant drugs. And the police reports indicate quite a bit of criminal activity with eyewitnesses saying they saw him with a gun. And so, I mean,
Did you have a gun when you were arrested?
No, sir.
Okay. And you're saying the police report was wrong? I mean, this person that you were in the car with where your ID was found, were you associated with this guy?
I know him, yes, sir.
Were you with him?
No, sir.
How did your ID?
I was with him. I was with him the day before. He was in my car. He stole my car from me.
Okay. Steve, you have any questions?
Yes, sir. I'm a little bit troubled. It was your car. The drugs were found in the door panel. Is that correct?
I don't know where they were found at, sir.
Okay, I can tell you they were found in the door. And the officers overheard you telling someone or asking someone you needed a ride to the impound lot to get the car back, and the officers overheard you say, "Have they found the drugs?"
No, sir. They said that she said that, but there was no statement from her or none of that. She never said that. That lady never said that. I'm the one that actually called the police to ask them about my car. I'm the one called them and let them know that I was trying to get my car to impound, but they said that the sheriff's office had a hold on it. So we called the sheriff's office and they said that they needed to speak with me. Then I told them, well, I'll be down there shortly. I'm just waiting on a ride to get down there. And then they just came pick me up from Walmart.
Well, that's kind of contrary. Let me just read this to you. It says that officers received 11 different complaints about you. Let's see, Walmart theft prevention officer Dawn Stowers reported that you were in Walmart asking for a ride or to borrow her car. You said you wanted to go and get your car from the impound lot. While on the phone with Dawn Sowers, this lady with theft prevention, officers heard you ask if the officers had found the drugs that were in the door of the vehicle.
Excuse me, sir. But
That
I
didn't
was,
happen. Officers didn't hear that.
no, sir.
All that's,
No,
well,
sir.
okay, okay. That's a pretty elaborate scheme they've dreamed up against you, it sounds like, if it's true. But
I
I don't
mean,
believe it is.
do you believe that I would say that to a complete stranger, sir? Honestly, like that doesn't even sound correct.
Well,
I asked her for if she could help me call the police and ask them about getting my car, though. I did ask her that.
we're not gonna win or lose the case right now. We just have to find out if there's enough
Yes, sir.
evidence to
No,
think that you violated. Don't interrupt, please. I won't interrupt you and you don't interrupt me.
no, sir.
Our job is to find out if there's enough evidence and a degree of evidence to think that you violated one of the conditions of your parole. And that's all we're here for. We're not gonna get to the bottom of guilt or innocence completely. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Ledoux?
I have no further questions or comments. I'm prepared to vote.
Okay, I'm leading in this case, so I'll vote first. Due to the drugs being located in your car, my vote today is going to be to revoke for rule number 4 and rule number 10. Ms. Ledoux?
My vote is to revoke parole based on the preponderance of evidence that he's violated conditions of parole with drugs, illegal drugs.
Mr. Prater?
I concur, revoke.
I'm sorry at this time, Mr. Nugent, your request has been denied.
Yes, sir.
Todd Jones coming up.
Hmm. Hmm.
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. My name is Chuck Tillis. My colleagues are Mr. Steve Prater and Ms. Jerry Ledoux. Would you state your name and DOC number for the record, please?
My name is Todd Matthew Jones. My DLC number is 570162.
Do you have a questionnaire with you?
No, sir, I do not.
They didn't send one.
Okay. I'm going to read some information into the records and ask you if you verify it, please.
Yes, sir.
Your first class offender,
Yes, sir.
criminal knowledge of a juvenile, 2 counts.
Yes, sir.
Sentencing date was June 4, 2010, revoked March 24, 2014. You were
Yes, sir.
sentenced to 10 years hard labor and consecutively 15 years, suspended 5 years, and active suspension probation after release. Your parole date is July 22nd, 2017. Good time, not eligible. Full-time date is February 22, 2029. This is correct. Could you tell us what got you incarcerated and why you feel you should be released?
To be honest with you, the reason why I was incarcerated, the reason why I got my probation revoked was due to the fact that I basically couldn't find a job. I do not feel like I should be released right now because I have absolutely nothing. I have no programs, I have no trades, I have no, the only thing I have was my GED. Only thing I got right now is my GED. I've been actively seeking help to try to get to a place to where I can actually get programs and trades for myself, so that way I can be better fit to go home. Right now, as it stands, I would tell y'all as a man, as right now as it stands, I'm not ready to go home. I'm not. I need help.
I understand. Ms. Ledoux is handling your case. I'm going to let her talk to you about it.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, that was going to be the first thing that I addressed with you. You have been housed in facilities that don't offer many opportunities for programming.
Yes, ma'am.
And you do have a full-term date of 2029, and we need you in the best posture that you can be because you will full-term out without the safety net of supervision.
Yes, ma'am.
And there are things that you can change and cannot change. When was your last write-up?
To be honest with you, ma'am, I do not know. I
Okay.
cannot remember.
Well, I can tell you it was definitely not within the last 3 years, or you would not be eligible to be for us today. So your behavior has settled down. You were denied for your behavior in the past.
Yes, ma'am.
And some infractions. So I concur with you. You need to be moved to a facility where you can get some programming.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll be prepared to vote. I mean, there's no reason for me to go into the details of this case because I think we both agree at this point to happen. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Steve, you have any questions or are you prepared to vote?
Prepared to vote, and I have no questions.
Ms. Ledoux?
Mr. Jones, based on our limited conversation and your acknowledgement of lack of programming, my vote today is going to be to deny your parole. But I am going to request that the Department of Corrections place you in a facility where you can be more prepared for your eventual release by taking your sex offender treatment classes, substance abuse classes.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Prater?
Concur?
Mr. Todd, I also concur and I congratulate you on asking for help and I hope that you get it. This concludes our visit at Madison's Parish South. We're signing off.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you, guys. All right.
Good morning. You're on mute.
Okay.
Good morning.
My name is Chuck Tillis, chairing today. My colleagues are Jerry Lanou and Mr. Steve Prater. Our remote location today is at Southwest Corrections. Would the staff there introduce themselves for the record?
I'm Cheryl Cook, administrative here, and I have Warden Pierce also with me here today.
Thank you so much for hosting this. Would you state your name and DOC number for the record?
My name is Christopher Foster. My DOC number is 755310.
Okay. I'm going to read some information into the record, and I'd like for you to tell me if it's correct. Your first offender. The offense is molestation of a juvenile. You were sentenced September 14, 2020. Sentenced to 13 years hard labor. Parole date is October 9th, 2023. Good time date, not eligible. Full term date is June 10th, 2032. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, could you tell us what caused you to be incarcerated and what happened, please?
Okay, in 2019, I touched someone inappropriate, and it resulted in me being arrested for molestation of a juvenile. And I make no excuses for what I've done, and I regret every day for doing so. And I take full responsibility for my actions. I have had a long time to think about what I have done, and it hurts me every day to think about the pain and the embarrassment I have inflicted on the victim and her family, and also my family because of my negligence. I have made it my priority throughout my incarceration to become a better person and to understand how my actions have affected everyone around me. I have maintained good conduct, and I have taken every avenue that has been available to me to ensure that this doesn't happen again, and to understand the crime that I've committed and the steps that I need to take to ensure that it doesn't happen again, and how to move forward and preparing myself for re-entering society. Again, I want to say to everyone that I'm sorry for what I've done. And victim awareness and impact has had the most effect on me, because knowing that people have taken their lives for sexual abuse, I just can't fathom being a person that has done something that could possibly cause someone to take their own life. I never want to be a person that be responsible for anybody else's life being taken. I never want to be a burden on anyone else. I never want to hurt anyone else. And what happened that day is it's no excuses. It was uncalled for. I touched her on the front and the back of her pants. There was no excuse for it. I can't even tell you why I did it. And for the most part, I can tell you this, I would never touch anyone else inappropriately again. I am a changed man. And I pray that I can start a fresh life by continuing to pursue my career as a welder. And since I turned in my parole packet, I've also completed the NCCER core construction, NCCER level 1 welding, personal financial literacy, express employment, professional career preparedness, and professional communications. And also with the help of my family, we looked up a bunch of sex offender counseling that I am going to whenever my release is. Even if it's in 32, I'm going to enroll into sex offender counseling so that I can make sure that it doesn't happen to anyone else again.
Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you. Warden, would you have any comments you want to make about Mr. Foster?
Yeah, I've been in this position since January of this year. And since I've been here, he's been an ideal inmate. You know, like he said, he mentioned the course that he's been through. And that's something that I started here, the NCCER classes. He has went through that and completed that with, you know, with grades he's supposed to have. And I just want to say he's been no problem, no rule violations, done everything he's supposed to do, keeps himself well kept, and always is polite. And whenever I go see him, he's always polite and talks to me. So I just want to say that on his behalf. He's been an ideal inmate since I've been here.
Are there any other courses you can offer to him?
Taking them on.
Right at this moment, I think he's got everything that he's been offered.
Okay,
Now, as more come available, I would offer them to him. I definitely would.
I see. Jerry, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I'm unclear. Is he actually in a job at this point, or is he just located there in the program?
He's in the program. He's not in a job right now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Warden.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm leading in this case today, Mr. Foster, and I've read your file. And I really appreciate the statement you just made. Steve or Jerry, do you all have any questions you want to ask?
Yes, Mr. Foster, I appreciate you admitting to that and understanding about the victim repercussions and all. But the truth of the matter is, you didn't just touch somebody on the outside and the front and the back once. It was over a course of years. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And was there two victims or just one?
It was two victims.
Okay, so two victims. And what ages were they when this was occurring?
I want to say 9 and 8.
Well, one talks about 5, but I don't know. 9's is close to 5, so it doesn't make any difference. It's both wrong. And it wasn't just you touching the front and the back. It was also, did you not have them touch you?
I had the girl touch me. Yes, I did.
Okay. So there was it was a long occurring event. A number of events with multiple victims. And I just want to get that straight for the record. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Ledoux?
No, without sex offender treatment, I realize his location has prevented him from taking the sex offender treatment program, but you've acknowledged that you want to and need to, but that's a very important component of rehabilitation.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm sorry. We have someone here also want to speak on your behalf, and that's your brother, John Foster. He's on Zoom. Mr. Foster? Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to say that his family's out here. Whenever he is released, we're here for his support. We want to ensure you guys that like I was the one that put together that that list of programs that's out here in Shreveport. And I sent that to him. I say, you know, we can try to do what we need to do to get you in one of those programs as soon as you're released, whenever that is. His family loves him dearly. We understand the repercussions of his actions, and we understand that there are consequences behind actions also. But we're here for his support. We love him dearly. Have my dad here, and he's listening in also. And he's my dad spoke on his behalf at the last parole hearing, but we're here, and we love him dearly, and we're here for his support.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate your concern.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Is the panel ready to vote? I have no more questions. Okay. Mr. Foster, how long have you been incarcerated?
A little over 6 years.
When I went through your file and I saw that it was a little boy and a girl, and I guess your opening statement really made a difference in how I feel about some things, and I'm glad to see that you're concerned about helping yourself. I really think you need to take some more programs. My vote today is going to be to deny, but I think if you get some more programs and treatment, and I'm really happy that you're aware of it, that you need it. And I don't think you've served enough time for this crime also, so my vote today is going to be to deny. Ms. Ledoux?
My vote is also to deny parole, echoing Mr. Tillis's compliments on your recognition of the needs that you have to continue some programming. And to do that, you would have to be moved, and I would encourage you to request change of location so you can get sex offender treatment. So my vote is to deny.
Mr. Prater?
My vote also is to deny, but I do want to say to your brother and your father, y'all seem like you're awfully supportive, and that's much appreciated. And I wish you the luck, the best in the future.
Mr. Foster, you've had 3 votes against you today, but please get some more classes, and as he said, you have a good family behind you, and change your life. This concludes. I'll visit today at Southwest. Warden, we appreciate your help.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Hey, no, y'all have to hold on. I got court and stuff going on, and I don't even care out of it. I don't know if that's going on. If she wants you to work for her, she needs to fill out the paperwork and then let you sign.
Good morning. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Would the staff there say their name for the record, please?
Yes. Can y'all say your names for the record?
Yeah, can you unplug it?
Yes.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I'm the warden, Melanie Moss.
And I'm Captain Glass.
Thank you. My name is Chuck Tillis, serving as chair today, where our remote location today is at the Claiborne Detention Center. My colleagues are Mr. Steve Prater and Ms. Jerry Ledoux. Would you state your name for the and DOC number for the record, please?
Austin Wade Boyd, 557-574.
Okay. I'm going to read some information into the records. And I'd like for you to, I'm going to read something into the record, Mr. Board, and I'd like for you to tell me if it's correct. You're a fourth offender. The offense is negligent homicide. Your sentence date was 9/14/2021. You were sentenced to 20 years of hard labor. Parole date was 10/11/2023. And your full term date is 10/11/2038. You're not eligible for good time. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Warden, can you tell us anything about Mr. Austin?
Austin is a trustee here at Claiborne Parish Detention Center. He doesn't have any rule violations. He's one that I would call a model offender. I don't know what he's done on the streets to get him where he is today, but he is one that we do count on here at the facility.
And he has no rule violations?
No, sir.
Thank you so much, Warden. Thank you. Mr. Austin, Ms. Ledoux is handling your case today. Would you answer her questions, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Boyd, you were initially charged with second-degree murder, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you went to a jury trial and were charged with negligent homicide.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you tell us why you're here, and then why we should release you, and then we're going to go to your supporters and let them speak. But I want to hear first from you
Yes,
about the situation and how it came about.
Okay. And the night that it happened, I was with some friends. We were on drugs, riding around. We was going to Kenneth Gibson's house. I did not know that's where the victim was. I didn't know he would be there, but the girl that I was with, he had stolen her bag or something around those lines. When we got there, she was trying to get him out the house. I went to his vehicle and she opened up the trunk. I grabbed the bag, her bags that were still in the vehicle, and threw them in Jared's truck, the one that I showed up in. When BC, the victim, came outside, he looked at us and then he went back in. I thought from all the commotion that was going around that he might have been going to get a weapon or a gun. So I went and slashed his tires, and then when I did that, I was trying to leave, and I didn't want him to follow us in the vehicle. When he came back out, the two that I was with were at the door trying to get him to come outside. I was at the vehicle trying to leave. When he came out, and I thought it was an asp. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was dark. I couldn't really tell what it was. But it looked like a bat almost. That's almost what I thought it was. And when he came out with it, I backed all the way up to where my back's against the vehicle. And I told him, I was like, BC, don't come swinging that at my head. And he came off the porch, running into the yard. He swung it across my head is when I threw my shoulder back and he came across me here. And at that time, I had stabbed him twice and got away from him. When I did that, he took a few steps back and fell on the ground. With that being said, I was charged with second-degree murder. And however, as y'all know, I did not feel that I was guilty of second-degree murder. So that's why I optioned to take it to jury trial. I felt that the verdict of negligent homicide reflected, it played a role in the context of how it happened and why it happened. I believe that had a huge impact on the jury's decision to give me negligent homicide. And with that, I completely understand. I mean, just me being on drugs and creating a situation, I did not have any criminal intent to harm BC. I didn't want this to happen. I never thought this would have happened, but I knew him. We grew up together. I know his family. The friends that we have, we all grew up together. So when he died and the impact that it had on everyone involved, especially his brother, who I know, it's there's nothing that I can do that can take away the pain that they felt. It really, a lot of people pick sides on this, being that they knew the victim and the defendant, and it was hard on everyone. But I really feel remorseful for what I've done.
So, yeah, my problem is you had a knife on you. You
Yes, ma'am.
expected trouble and were prepared for it when it happened. So, negligent homicide may have been a little light. Maybe manslaughter would have been a more appropriate in my mind. But you're a fourth felony offender. So have you been on probation previously
Yes, ma'am.
and completed it satisfactorily?
Yes, ma'am. One of them.
Okay, what happened with the others?
The others, when I completed that probation, I think it was in 2010. I was in, I had gotten sober. I went to treatment and remained sober for 2 years. My father had died during that time, and I relapsed and got back on drugs. And there was about a few years of that I wasn't able to get clean. I was just really in my addiction. And during that time, I had caught 2 more felonies. They were really back to back. I think one was I received probation and I was in jail a month or two later.
Okay. What about the programming that you've taken? So it looks like you've only taken half of your substance abuse treatment. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I have done thinking for a change, parenting, anger management, and the mass one, the substance abuse. I've been enrolled in Ashland University for the last 3 years, and I just obtained my associates and
Right.
with a concentration in business.
Right. And you're in TWP and your behavior in TWP has been great. And I've read all that. But have you had the pre-release program?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You know, that's required for release.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I see that you've done that, that you haven't done this incarceration. I'd like to hear from your supporters at this time. I think you have 3. Who wants to go first? Mom, usually.
Sarah Boyd?
Can you?
Yes,
Yes,
we can
sir.
hear you.
Okay, I am Austin's mother, Sarah Boyd, and report for 58 years. 34 of those years, I worked at Shepherd Medical Center as a registered respiratory therapist. My husband and the children's father, Joe, was an alcoholic. The negative impact of his behavior greatly affected our family. At this time, I became the sole support for our family, working full-time and many overtime hours to support us. At the age of 7, when Joe left our home, my father became Austin's emotional support. When Austin was 13, his grandfather died, and Austin stated it was the end of his world. It should be noted that Austin was diagnosed with severe dyslexia in the 2nd grade. Learning was difficult for him, leading to poor self-esteem. I believe the severe dysfunction in our home and his difficulties in school led to his use of drugs. I've been sharing with you Austin's difficulties as a child. I want you to know what a loving and considerate person he is. For example, when his grandfather died, I would go, or was dying, I would go up from cancer. I would go over to his house each evening and spend time with him. I returned home from work one day to find out Austin had weeded my flower garden because he knew it was important to me. It's these qualities that have been appreciated by several people at Haynesville Country Club, where Austin has worked the last few years, and they have written letters of support. In Austin's teenage years, he was in and out of treatment centers with periods of sobriety. At the age of 16, he received his GED at YCP, which was a big accomplishment for him. During Austin's incarceration, he has worked very hard to improve himself. He has received with honors his associate degree in business while in prison and continues pursuing his bachelor's degree. Secondly, if not within a few months, he became a trustee. Shortly after this time, he began working 7 days a week at the Haynesville Country Club. Board members at the club support him so much that they have offered him to continue working at the club as a groundskeeper and maintaining equipment, and also offered a place to live should he be paroled. Austin has always had my love and support. Should he be paroled, I will see that whatever step in his best interest will be made. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to speak in behalf of my son. I'm very proud of his accomplishments, which shows his desire to improve himself. Thank you for your consideration from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you for speaking, and glad he has a good support system. I believe his sisters would like to speak. Is that correct?
His sister and my daughter.
Okay.
His sister, yes.
And your sister.
My-
Hi, my name is Emily Boyd. I am a stay-at-home mother to 4 children. I also volunteer for the PTA and at our local church. Thank y'all for allowing me to speak on my brother's behalf. I sincerely hope that you take into consideration what I'm going to say. As Austin's big sister, I've always tried to protect him. As was stated, we had a rough upbringing. He has always been, or he was always bullied as a child. Our father was abusive physically and mentally, emotionally as well. Let's see. Austin was never one to fight. He was always trying to make things better. There are certain points that I would like to bring up of the night of the incident. Austin and BC were friends, like he stated, 2 boys who grew up together playing ball. 2 boys who also took the wrong path in life due to lack of knowledge of a better one. They both stepped into this fight with weapons, neither knowing which one or how it would end. I don't believe that there was any intent on either side of the outcome of the fight. And he was devastated and Austin was devastated once realizing what happened. I feel like the jury agreed, as they gave him negligent homicide. I know how easily this fight could have took a turn for the worse, or took a turn on my brother's side, where I wouldn't have a chance to talk to him or see him other than going to his grave. I do understand that. I'm so sorry to BC's family and friends. I hate that a simple fight led to his death, but Austin needs the chance to better his life even more than he already has outside of prison, to live in favor of God, to be with his family and his friends, his nieces and nephews. Other than behind bars, my son, I've only had one son that has been introduced to him, and it was behind bars. He hasn't met my youngest. And I would love for him to be out and be a part of our family and grow his family. And yet I will give full support to whatever he may need moving forward. Yeah, I do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I believe we have one more who wishes to
Yes,
speak.
ma'am.
Yes, thank you. My name is Beth Ramos, and Austin is our nephew. Dr. Ramos and I have lived and worked here in Shreveport for over 50 years. And we have played a part in Austin's life from the time he was born. Austin is a loving, intelligent, caring young man. And as a child, he had those qualities. However, as you know, early on, his substance abuse interrupted in a negative way, as we all know. Throughout his teenage years, he was in and out of treatment centers, and while in the center in South Louisiana, he received his GED at the age of 16, which was huge because he had been diagnosed with severe dyslexia as a child when he was in the 2nd grade, I believe. So that had made it difficult. Another reason for his difficulties was just struggling in school. So I guess what I'd like to do is focus on his accomplishments while he's been incarcerated. We all know of his good behavior, and based on that, he became a trustee. And at the same time, he's worked diligently on his college credits receiving his associate degree and still working on his BS degree. And I think working at the Haynesville Country Club, his strong work ethic and his character speaks for him, in that the board members have fully supported him in this way. They have said that should he be paroled, they will offer him a job to continue as maintenance caretaker at the club, and also he repairs the machinery there, and that they would provide him a place to live. Dr. Ramos and I are Shreveport and retired, but we are willing and will give Austin full support, whether it be financially, continuing his education, a place to live, or just giving him a shoulder to lean on. I pray that as you review everything, all the input you've received, that his accomplishments with him really, really working on trying to improve himself will be noted. And I guess the last thing I'd like to point out is that he went to Teen Challenge, I believe it was maybe when he was 17 or 18, and I drove him to Ruston at that time. And Challenge is biblically founded or spiritually founded, in that they present the Bible and scripture, and Austin at that time dedicated his life to Jesus, and he was baptized there in the lake. And from that time, I know, having spoken with Austin, that God continues to be part of his foundation and what helps support him. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Austin, it's excellent that you have support. We also do have in attendance via Zoom Ms. Fitzgerald, who is with the Caddo DA's office victim coordinator. And Ms. Fitzgerald, at this time, I would ask you to make your statements.
Good morning. Thank you. Yes, I'm Leon Fitzgerald. I'm with the Caddo Parish DA's office, and we are most definitely opposed. We're a little bit perplexed as to how we're even here at this point already, since Mr. Boyd was just convicted in 2021 and sentenced. But this is a case where he was indicted for second-degree murder. My office still contends that he committed a second-degree murder, or at the very least a manslaughter, and we were all just baffled by the verdict that the jury came back with, negligent homicide. Mr. Boyd, went to the home where the victim, Mr. Sollers, went. Everyone calls him BC. And BC was asleep there, minding his own business whenever Mr. Boyd showed up. And I had some sound issues at the beginning, so I couldn't hear everything. And I wondered if the board knew that Mr. Boyd actually slashed the tires on the victim's vehicle before the victim came out. And so we had a shall I say, an eccentric group of lay witnesses in this case, many of whom were drug involved themselves. But none of those witnesses made any statements regarding a confrontation or Mr. Sollers attacking Mr. Boyd or anything like that. Just the opposite. They all say that the testimony was that Mr. Boyd attacked Mr. Sollers, and he was stabbed twice. So Mr. Boyd then fled the scene, and was later found by the K-9 unit hiding in a boat nearby. The bloody knife was found in the boat. So from what the witnesses stated, I don't know that Mr. Sollers would have even been able to fight off an attacker. He probably wasn't alert enough. He'd been sleeping for a long time. So when Mr. Boyd took the stand, it went from puzzling to even crazier, because then he starts alleging something about a baseball bat that the victim came out with, and no one had ever mentioned anything about a baseball bat. His statement was completely self-serving. So that's what we contend happened, not a negligent homicide. And with all due respect to Miss Emily Boyd, this was not a fight. We contend still to you all that this was not a fight. This was an attack on BC Sollers. So as we all know, Mr. Boyd has a terrible criminal history. He was sentenced as a 4th habitual felony offender. And so those charges are outlined: a burglary, which was actually a burglary of 2 separate vehicles. Another burglary, I believe that Miss Emily Boyd was the victim herself in one of his convictions. And then let's see, a felony theft. So in addition to those, if you look at Mr. Boyd's rap sheet, he has at least 7 misdemeanor convictions that he was also convicted of, ranging from DWI to trespassing. In 2014, he pled guilty to a battery of a police officer for pushing and repeatedly kicking a police officer and trying to close the car door on the officer who was taking him into custody on a warrant. And then he had other misdemeanor thefts, some of which started out as felonies but led to misdemeanors. Regarding Mr. Sollers and his family, I was in touch with some of Mr. Sollers' family members throughout the prosecution of the case. They chose not to attend court. His aunt, Miss Weiss, that I believe made a statement for today. And it wasn't that they didn't care about BC. He had lost both of his parents at a young age, and these people cared about him. They're opposed to parole. They wanted to know what the outcome of the case was. And then BC also had a fiance who testified at the jury trial. She was not present for the stabbing, but she arrived back at the home shortly afterwards and cried over BC as he lay dying. She was carrying his child that was born after the murder in 2019. She came to the sentencing. She submitted victim impact statements. She spoke of how brokenhearted she is and how devastating this loss has been to her, and her son will never know his father. And her father even came to the sentencing and provided victim impact statements, and spoke of what a kind, helpful person BC was, that he had helped care for his elderly mother, tending to her physical needs and doing household chores. And one thing that he wrote that just stood out to me that I'm going to quote is, "This man has destroyed a family before it ever even got the chance to start." And then he spoke of the continuous effect that the murder will have on his family. So I wasn't able to reach them to let them know about today, but they were very present and very heartbroken and devastated over all of this. I'm concerned to hear today that there's a program required for release that Mr. Boyd hasn't even taken. So I think that that his record speaks for itself, and that it's only been, 7 years since this took place. And I think based on his past, and I believe his mother said somewhere that he had been to rehab at least 6 times. And so I don't think his ability to keep himself together in the controlled environment of a prison for 7 years says that he's ready to be turned loose into the real world of temptations and an uncontrolled environment. Not to mention, I think that at this stage, it would be disrespectful to the memory of Mr. Sollers and those who loved him to let Mr. Boyd out so early. And so I'm just going to conclude by reading something that the court said. The judge who presided over the trial, and she was the sentencing judge, and in her sentencing, I'm quoting her, she says, "As I said, the jury found Mr. Boyd guilty of negligent homicide. I didn't understand that verdict. I thought the evidence proved that he was guilty of a greater crime, second-degree murder or manslaughter, and that I think he received a gift from the jury is my opinion." So I don't think that he, at this point, is deserving of a gift from the parole board. And I appreciate y'all listening to our comments today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fitzgerald. I think I've explored a lot with you, and we've heard testimony on both sides. I would like at this time to invite my colleagues to ask any questions.
Mr. Prater, you have any questions?
No, I don't think I have any questions. We're talking about a habitual offender conviction also, and a negligent homicide. So, okay, I just wanted to clear that up. I couldn't understand why we're even here today, but I'm prepared to vote.
Okay. Ms. Ledoux, this is your case. Your vote will be asked first.
Yes, I am very aware that there have been some positive things that Mr. Boyd has done maybe in the past couple of years in his transitional work program. However, there are things that need to be taken care of, and substance abuse program, both phases need to be completed, and pre-release. You've only served a 7 on a 20. So today, based on those two issues, my vote is to deny parole.
Mr. Prater?
Concur.
And I also concur. Also, I don't think there's been enough time with 7 years on a 20-year sentence, Mr. Boyd. So at this time, your request has been denied.
You want me to go get them?
Good morning, Mr. Washington. You're on mute. You're mute, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you, Warden, thank you. My name is Chuck Tillis, Ms. Jerry Ledoux, and Mr. Steve Prater are my colleagues. Would you state your name and DLC number for the record, please?
My name is James Washington Jr. My DLC number 404776.
Okay. I'm gonna read some information and you tell me if it's correct. You're a third offender. The offense is armed robbery. Your sentencing date was 4/9/207. 20/207. Am I saying that correct? 20/07. You were sentenced to 30 years hard labor without the benefit of parole or probation. Your parole date is 5/9/2023. Your good time date is not eligible. Full term is 5/7/3033. Is that correct to your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Warden, do you have anything you want to add to this young man, how he's been and what he's done since he's been with you?
Okay, she stepped up. This is Captain Glass. I've been here 23 years and 6 months, and when he come here, after 6 months, we gave him a trustee job. He's a modern inmate. He would take on tasks when we short in other areas. He will work and help. I consider him as a modern inmate.
He's been there 6 months?
No, I said he became trustee after 6 months when he came here. He had different jobs, and right now he work on the trash crew. And then he assists the welders when he come in off the trash crew.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You are.
Mr. Washington, tell us what got you incarcerated and why you feel that you should be released today, or we should vote for your release today.
Okay, when I came to incarcerated, I was only an armed robbery. And so we went to the liquor store, and the dude, we taking the money from the lady gave the money up, and she gave us the money, and the dude shot him. Then I left out and took the money and left.
When you say the dude, you're talking about the guy that was with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I see. What have you done since you've been incarcerated to improve yourself?
Before I came up here when I was in Winfield, I took some classes and I was trying to build myself. Go to school and this and that. And when I came up in Winfield, not Winfield, but Parish up here, CLAIBORNE Parish, in 19, since I've been here for like 6 years. So I try to build myself, get a job, and occupy myself.
Okay, the classes you've taken, what did you learn? What did you get out of them?
The age of management and your money and goals. And better yourself, how you treat your family and things.
Okay, good. I'm moving a little too fast. Your case has been assigned to Ms. Ledoux, and we also have someone on Zoom to speak in your behalf. And that is Ms. Ann Ward. And I'm going to ask Ms. Ledoux, would you answer her questions, please?
Yes.
I would entertain, Ms. Ward, you're the aunt of Mr. Washington, is that correct?
That's correct.
Why don't you go ahead and give me your statement before I begin asking questions?
Okay, my statement is that I definitely, I want him home, and excuse me, I just need him. I've been taking care of him for so long, and I just need him here to help me because he has a place of his own, and a place that's his, and I've been taking care of that and doing so much for him, basically all his life. And I have found a job for him when hopefully he do get out, and I just need him here to help me. I'm 75 years old, and it's just like I just I need him. And I know that's not have nothing to do with this, but I just want him home so bad.
Thank you. I appreciate those comments.
And he is really a good person. He just followed being led, but I know it's on him. He's being led. I guess he's like a follower, not a leader, and so that's what creates his problem with that problem. But he's really a good person. He help you whenever he can. He do what he can for somebody. Just got caught up. That's what I'm gonna say. Leave that.
Well, that was one of the first questions I wanted to ask you, Mr. Washington. Your co-defendant, Mr. Campbell, if I did the math correctly, he was about 18 or 19 when he committed the murder, and you were 26. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what was your relationship to Mr. Campbell?
We was cousins.
Okay. Now you had two other people with you the night that this happened, two females, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they ever get charged with anything accessory or anything?
I don't know my knowledge of, but they came to court at the time being.
Okay. So why he was the leader of this situation, or as a 26-year-old, you were a third class, you are a third class offender, so you were already a second class offender at this point.
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't take the lead and say, hey, we got our money, why are we, he just shot her.
I tried to tell him, but he just some people just won't listen to you.
Okay, so was this a premeditated, y'all got together and decided, let's go get this money because we have some other things we want to do with it?
No, it's just happening.
So you drove to a liquor store with guns and y'all just happened to ask her for the money, and
he asked her for the money, then she gave it to us, but he didn't have to shoot her.
Okay. So it doesn't appear that you have had the programming that I would expect. Have you been in 23 years? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that's 23 of a 30. You have not had pre-release, have you?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I got pre-release. No, ma'am.
Did you have your GED when you entered the system?
I had a high school diploma.
Okay.
I was in special ed.
Okay. And then are you completing your second substance abuse? I've seen quite a few
Yes,
fellows.
ma'am.
Yes.
I was in class today when I had to take out today.
Okay, because so you already completed the first phase and now you're on your second phase.
Yes.
Okay. I understand that your aunt is willing to provide a place for you to stay, but tell me what you're looking at when you get out of prison. What is your real plan? According to you, what do you plan to do?
I'm planning to give me a job
Mhm.
and take care of my auntie, because she's been taking care of me since I was day one. And stay around the house and do things and go to work.
Okay.
Go to church. Sometimes you may have to enter like another class or something, like if you want me to I took a living balance already. You know what I'm talking about? And they got manager group, y'all can do that like at least once a week.
Okay. And your aunt lives in Caddo Parish where the offense occurred.
Yes, ma'am.
In your last hearing, you had one board member who was thinking you were on the right path, but I just haven't seen enough programming to make me think that, so you've taken Thinking for a Change?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what
But
did you
see,
learn?
but see, they ain't got no classes up here, but like 2 of them. So I took what they gave me.
Correct. So what did you learn with Thinking for a Change?
Thank you for a change. That was living in balance. I took.
Okay, so you took Living in Balance. So what was the thing that you learned most from that particular class?
I was talking about drugs and how like some people like your brain, like it's small and some big. Like if you feed something and be a better person, you can get better. And like on the job, you know what I'm saying? You can be small, but you can come on get bigger. Like you
Okay,
can add to it.
okay. I don't have any other questions right now. I'll listen as my colleagues ask their questions and I may come back to you.
Mr. Prater, you have any questions?
No, I don't. I don't have any questions.
What kind of skills do you have that since you've been there? Have you learned any skills, welding?
I'm a welder helper.
You are a welder helper?
Yeah, cause in the morning time I go to special project, go out and pick up paper. And other things they have to do when we do that, like cut trees down the road and stuff like that. Then about like 2 o'clock I come in, then I hit the wheels out. I do a little sanding.
Okay, if you're released and you get home, Warden, you wanted to say something?
I was just gonna add that he leaves the compound every day and works off in the public.
He does?
He does.
He does.
He's very dependable. He's hardworking. He's very respectful.
I'm glad you said that, Warden. Thank you so much. Thank you. So have you learned to be a leader in doing the right things now? Mr. James, and it seems like you are a little trustworthy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no more questions. Ms. Ledoux?
Mr. James, I'm prepared to vote and I just don't have the greatest comfort right now to release you on parole. I do believe that you're right at the mark that you need to be. But I believe that your transition plan is a little lacking and you do need your pre-release prior to leaving the facility. So my vote today is going to be to deny parole.
Mr. Prater?
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me.
No, let us finish, please. Let us finish. Mr. Prater?
See a lot of progress that he's made. I think he's going to be a very productive citizen when he gets out, but I think 30 years involved in a crime like this, 30 years without benefit of parole, probation, or suspension of sentence, and then to come up for parole is, of course, I realize that's the lawful thing now, but my vote is to also deny.
Mr. James, I base a lot on the individual, how they've changed. I think you've made some changes and I still think you need some more help. The warden and the staff to have a good idea of how you are. My vote today is going to be to grant. So you didn't have enough to make it. There was 2 against 1. So I'm sorry, maybe next time you'll get it, but keep up the good work, please.
Hey, excuse me, sir. Now, can I ask you a question? So now, since y'all didn't give me, now can y'all help me with like a halfway house or something I can bail on my little self or something? Cause I've been here for like 5 years and I can take classes down to where I go. It don't matter what part of Louisiana y'all send me to.
We'll make a recommendation for that for you.
All right, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Chuck Tillis. I'll be chairing today. My colleagues are Ms. Jerry Lanou and Mr. Steve Prater. Would you state your name and DOC number for the record, please?
Antonio Green, 704-752.
Okay, is the staff there? We're our remote location today, at this time is at Cattle Corrections. Would you introduce your name, the staff, please?
Sergeant Crafts of Transport.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Green, I'm going to read some information and you verify it and tell me if it's correct. Your first offender, the offense is a forcible rape, possession with the intent to distribute, Schedule 1. Your sentencing date was October 13, 2015 and June 23rd, 2016. You were sentenced to 12 years hard labor and 5 years of hard labor. Your parole date is August 16, 2018. Your good time is not eligible. Full time is August 8, 2026. Is that correct?
Sir.
Okay. We have some people that are going to speak on your behalf today, and we have also some people are going to, no, there's no one, just someone speaking on your behalf. Now, could you tell us why you got incarcerated and why we should agree to release you on probation?
First and foremost, I'd just like to thank God for giving us this day and the people of the board for giving me this opportunity to come before y'all and plead my case. But sir, honestly, I take full responsibility of what happened. But it was said that it believed that I was supposed to be touching a juvenile inappropriate things that may happen, but I take full responsibility. And why I feel like, because I'm only human, we all make mistakes and I have loved ones. And that's
Okay. You said it was said, or did you do this?
yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. I heard you correctly. I'll be handling your case today. And but first we're gonna hear from people who are speaking on your behalf. And Mr. Tommy Green, your brother, is on Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell us what you'd like us to know, please.
That my brother, when we had the trial and everything, that my brother, I'm the little girl's brother-in-law, and how bad it impacted our family and stuff. Me and my girl and he got nephews with my girl that with the auntie that supposed to been alleged, that supposed to been touched and all that, and the mama was trying to drop the charges and everything when my brother went to trial, but they didn't relay the message to the lawyer and all that. But I talked to the family and everything right now today, and they've been requested that he could come home, but they never did grant him parole the first couple of times that he went. And my mama is sick. She need to be with him. I mean, she got dialysis 3 times a week. I moved back home to be with her too, and me and my sister, and it's 3 of us that got the same daddy with Antonio Green, which is in the back seat, my oldest sister, and then it's me, and then it's him, and that's my baby brother, and he just been gone too long, and I mean, and we move, and it's just, man, it's just taking a big toll on my mama.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your comments. Is Miss Moore his sister?
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, how are you?
I'm fine.
What would you like to tell us about your brother?
Okay. Like he said, everyone makes mistakes, and everybody's everyone makes mistakes, and I feel like everybody is in what is it word?
Involved.
Entitled to a second chance. A second chance at life to redeem themselves when you know it's not in that person. And so with him being gone for now almost 12 years, I feel like I really feel as a big sister of my baby brother that he have learned his lesson, and that with him being away that it has taught him right from wrong. And with my mom being so sick right now, and with I really he needs my mom my mom needs him more than anything right now.
Okay. Thank you so much for your comment. Miss Willie Green, what would you like to tell us? Can you hear me?
Can you repeat that? We couldn't hear you.
I was asking Miss Green, what statement did she want to make about her son?
I want to say that my son, I think he have learned a lesson. I don't care how these girls say they older than what they is or whatever they say. He need to learn how to get a birth certificate on them, because I think he done learned some sense now that he will not fool with another child. A person that say they 18 and not 18.
Thank you so much.
And I love my child. I'm sick and I need my son at home. It's been 12 long years and I have not seen him. Ever since they moved him from the other jail, I can't find him no more.
Okay. Thank you so
and
much.
My help won't let me travel to where he at.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to move on with our case today. Mr. Green, I'll be handling your case. Tell me about some of the classes you've taken to improve yourself.
So, excuse me. I think every class that's available, sex offender treatment, you can look at my past history. I have limited right up to it. I think my last one was 5 to 6 years ago. I stay out of trouble. I don't do nothing. I'm trying. All I can say is I'm trying. I'm trying to do better. I've learned my lesson. Taking empathy and awareness has truly made me understand the situation that I put my victim in and her family and the hurt that I've caused. And with me having kids of my own, I sympathize, I empathize, I understand that I've caused great pain. And some things that I can't take back. And if I could, I would without a moment's hesitation. But all I can do is take full responsibility. And like I said, I've taken everything that was available to me. Show you that I'm willing to go home.
I understand. How long have you been incarcerated?
11 years now.
On a 12-year sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have okay. Our colleagues have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I would move to go into executive session, if it so pleases my colleagues.
Get a second?
I'll second it.
We're gonna go into executive session for a moment, so we're gonna be stepping out. Thank you. Oh,
Yes.
Prater. Jones.
yes. Steve, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am here. Let me.
We got you.
All right, now it's okay. Yes.
I need a motion to come out of executive session.
So
I'll
moved.
make that motion.
Got a motion and a second. Is the warden there, Mr. Green? Who's the staff there with you?
Yes, sir.
I forgot to ask you, what kind of guy is he that since he's been there with you guys?
Yeah,
Can you tell?
he's been here for roughly 3 years now, huh? He's been here for roughly 3 years, and honestly, I've never had any problem with him. He's stayed to himself. He's done what he could to, you know, be a model inmate, and I haven't heard or had any issues with him at all in the 3 years that he's been here.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that. Mr. Green, we're going to vote now, and my colleagues don't have any more questions, do they?
I'm not.
Okay,
Do not.
we're going to vote. I have your case, and I have the privilege of voting first. I see the remorsefulness in you. I think you have changed, and my vote today is going to be to grant. Ms. Ledoux?
Mr. Green, you have completed all phases of sex offender treatment, but you have not completed the pre-release. And you cannot be granted without taking, I mean, you can't leave without taking your pre-release. My vote today would be to conditionally grant after completion of pre-release. And the reason I'm doing that, and I'll be honest with you, is because you're going to be on supervision then for a few, for 8 months at least. I need you to be supervised because there are going to be kids that you're going home to, and that probation officer, parole officer needs to see how you adjust. If I let you go to your full term date, you get out and you have to register, but we don't have any supervision over you. And I would feel more comfortable with public safety if you had some supervision. So my vote is grant condition upon completion of the pre-release. And then when you get out, that you be at max supervision level.
Mr. Prater?
Because of the nature of the crime, the number of victims, and the fact that you took a plea bargain to get where you are, but mainly because you just have a few months later, and Miss Jerry Ledoux makes a very good case of wanting to put you under supervision.
Steve, hold 1 second, please. What's wrong?
The facility.
They having difficulty with the
Having difficulty at the facility right now.
Okay.
Mr. Green, can you all hear us now?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear Ms. Ledoux's statement?
No, sir.
You didn't hear Ms. Ledoux's statement?
The last
You-
part was the pre-release.
You were frozen. Jerry, you want us?
Okay, my vote is a conditional grant that would require you to have pre-release before you left the facility. And the only reason I am voting that way is because I believe that you need to be on supervision before you full term off on this charge. You will have to have registration requirements met, but I want a parole agent to watch you at least for 8 months, so I know how you're adjusting and some of your propensities. Okay, you have had all of your sex offender treatment, and you've had some substance abuse treatment. This is in no way mitigating the seriousness of your crime. This is only because I feel like you need to have some supervision before you leave. Okay. So and I will require you to be on elevated supervision level.
Thank you. Mr. Prater?
Yes, sir. Because of the fact that we're talking about a plea bargain, whereas there were kids that were less than 13 or 12 years old that were molested, and those cases were dismissed, and you were allowed to plead one count of forcible rape, and the judge gave you 12 years without the benefit of parole, probation, or suspension of sentence. And although we are here legally and you are okay to apply for parole, I think the fact that you just have a few months to serve, 8 months or so, more to serve, I believe you need to serve the rest of the time. That's what you were ordered, and also my vote is to deny.
Okay, thank you. At this time, Mr. Green, you have 2 votes for and 1 against, and you need all 3 of us. So you've been denied today.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Chuck Tillis. My colleagues are Jerry Ledoux and Mr. Steve Prater. Can you hear me? You're on mute. Okay, we can hear you now. Would you state your name for the record and DLC number, please? You're back on mute. You're back on mute.
John Lazard Jr., 453-798.
And the staff have already introduced themselves. I'm going to read some information for the record, and you tell me if it's right or wrong. Your offense, first class, cruelty to a juvenile, indecent behavior with a juvenile under the age of 13. Your sentence date was February 3rd, 2022. You were sentenced to 8 years and also 7 years. Your parole date was April 27, 2026. Your good time date is February 16, 2027. Full time is April 28, 2032. Is that agreed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll be handling your case today, and we have some people that will be speaking on your behalf. But I'd like to know first, what caused you to be incarcerated, and why do you feel that you should be released today?
Stating the matter that dealing with the cruelty to juvenile and indecent behavior, you know, that the behaviors were inappropriate. And, you know, I mean, it's self-explanatory, but I mean, it shouldn't have happened. And I'm very remorseful for it. And you know, and I've learned through this being shameful and hurtful that, you know, holding guilt, you know, that it really tore me up inside. And I'm not this person, and learned that confessing the guilt, you know, it took a lot of burden off of me. And I'm praying that, you know, with the victims that, you know, with all the hurt and shame and everything that they're going through, that they understand that even, you know, that we try all things to alleviate, you know, the pain and suffering. But, you know, I pray that they can be forgiven, and knowing that forgiveness, you know, also is a healing process. And I just pray the best for them and hope they understand.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. We have some people speaking on your behalf. Mr. Alan Lazard,
Yes,
brother, by
sir.
Zoom. Is it?
Yes, sir.
What would you like us to know, Mr. Allen?
Like he said, that it's really not him. I know that sometimes we go through a lot of things in our minds and whatever, but he's actually a very good person. He'll help where help is needed. He'll give where someone needs to give. He's a very good person, you know. I believe that if he would have stayed, because he was going to church and everything, he got out of church, and you know it caused. And I try to tell him, I said, you got to stay in church, you got to stay with God, and I believe if he would have continued to do that, none of this stuff would have happened. You know, we all make mistakes, and I believe that he's a really good. He's my brother, and I love him, but he's a good person. You know, we don't condone what he done, but I think he's learned a lot since he's been in there after, you know, talking to him and everything. And I really believe that if he was given this opportunity to get out, he would be a good and better citizen, and take care of his business, because he is a hard worker. He works now. He take care of his business. You know, if he can do that, he would be all right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Miss Elaine Young. She's on it.
That's just, she just he beat me.
Miss Elaine Young, are you there? Okay, we're gonna go to Barbara Ann Lazar, sister. Are you there?
Yes.
Let us know what you want to tell us about your brother.
Hold on.
Are you there?
What is it?
Did you want to say something about your brother? Speak on his behalf?
I mean, like, what do y'all want to? Yeah, I can go to the next person. Let me.
Okay, thank you. Is Miss Elaine Young there?
She had trouble getting.
Oh, okay.
Just receiving expressions.
Okay, they're having some problems with my phone. So we're gonna go ahead with our interview. I'm handling your case today.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lazard, tell me something. How long have you been incarcerated?
I've been down 8 years, sir.
8 years. What classes and what have you been doing to improve yourself?
I graduated GED December 12th. I did life healing charges, which helped me into, you know, the confessions and dealing with guilt. I've done the forklift certification, the OSHA certification, and there's a church called Right Way Ministry. I have seven extra certificates from them. I've also, since the first day of incarceration, I've held, you know, church services. You know, I've been in the faith-based dorms, and I've held church services every day from the first day of incarceration till still today. You know, and I haven't stopped. And you know, I've done a lot. I've even worked, you know, for 3 different facilities. You know, I've been active, so you know, it's not just that I'm sitting here and, you know, and not getting anything accomplished. So,
Okay. What kind of sexual abuse classes have you taken?
I haven't been around any of the facilities, haven't had it. I believe this one does. Hopefully I can get into it, you know, if I'm not released today or I'm not, you know, given parole, then I will attend them, you know, and complete them.
I see. Do my colleagues have any questions? Miss Jerry?
I don't have any questions, except you do know you have an out-of-state detainer in Tennessee?
Yes, ma'am. It's been 18 years old. I've been trying to get it taken care of. And
Okay.
Miss Prater?
Yes, sir. What was your sentence?
my sentence was 15 years, 8 years credit time served on the cruelty, and 7 years with the possible parole on indecent.
Okay. How long have you served?
8 years. I've been incarcerated 8 years total.
Okay. When's your full-time date? When do you get out?
In 2032, February of 2032.
Okay.
I believe it's
and you pled no contest to cruelty to a juvenile and molestation of a juvenile, correct?
I pled no contest to indecent behavior and cruelty to a juvenile.
Okay, indecent behavior. Okay. All right. I don't have any questions. That's all I have.
Steve, has a good time date of February 16, 2027.
Yes, sir.
That's what I was That's what I was thinking. Go get out in 27 anyway. Yes. Okay.
All right, and is the panel prepared to vote?
I am.
Yes.
Okay, I am also. Mr. Lazar, my vote today is going to be to deny, and I think you need to finish the rest of the sexual abuse classes. I think you definitely need those, and that would be good for you. And you're on a good path, as you say, trying to better your life and correct this wrong. Ms. Ledoux?
Yes, sir. The Static 99 is a tool to evaluate propensity for reoffending of this type of crime, and his score is 3, which is very high. Because he doesn't have any sex offender treatment, he has opposition. My vote is to deny parole.
Thank you, Ms. Ledoux. Mr. Prater?
Go with all of that. I think he needs to complete his sentence. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lazar, your request has been denied. And we will be signing off today at CALDWELL Correctional Center. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
The time is 12:19. We're signing out.
We're doing that, yes, sir. I don't.